This is Walter Bosley, and I'll be reading a selection from The Return of the Serpents of Wisdom by MARK AMARU PINKHAM. The Knights Templar, heirs of the Sufi and Hebrew serpents. Eventually, the wisdom of the serpent passed into Europe via waves of missionaries who had studied with the Sufi serpents of wisdom and imbibed their ancient eclectic wisdom. One wave of European missionaries were known as the Knights Templar, a group of Christian knights who had ostensibly banded together to ensure safe passage to Christian pilgrims traveling between Europe and the Holy Land of Palestine. Their true origins may have been to research and protect Le Serpent Rouge, an ancient bloodline of serpents which had been parented by Jesus and Mary Magdalene and culminated in the Merovingian line of kings in France. While in Palestine, the knights came into contact with the Sufis soon after moving into a wing of the palace of the reigning king of Jerusalem, King Baldwin, which was built upon part of the ruins of Solomon's temple, the eventual symbol of their order. Their Sufi teachers were adepts of an order called the Albana, or the Builders, a sect formed by the Nubian Sufi and alchemical adept Dul Nun, a master who had traveled throughout Egypt while extensively studying the books of Thoth Hermes and the Jedi priesthood, which decorated the walls and columns of the surviving temples. Through their pivotal association with the Sufis, the Christian knights learned the mysteries of Solomon's temple as well as the esoteric wisdom of the Greek, Egyptian, Persian, Chaldean, and Hindu mystery academies, which was preserved in the vaults of their mentors. They mastered the Arabic language and subsequently pored over many of the priceless scriptures, which had been collected from all over the Muslim Empire and translated into the language of the Sufis. Within these texts, they discovered the secrets of alchemy, hermeticism, astrology, Gnosticism, magic, yoga, sexual tantra, etc. Their alchemical wisdom was further embellished upon when, while digging around the foundations of Solomon's temple, they are reputed to have found a text on alchemy composed by King Solomon himself. Of all the esoteric mysteries introduced to the knights, however, that which intrigued them most was the secret life of Jesus Christ. According to one account of their history, the Templars had come to Jerusalem under the auspices of the Order of Sion, their parent order, for the purpose of researching the roots of a lineage of European nobles supposedly fathered by the Messiah. The matriarch of this royal lineage was Mary Magdalene, the wife or mistress of Jesus, who stole away from Palestine with the Messiah's child in her womb and eventually gave birth to his heir in southern France. Mary's subsequent line intermarried with the Franks to produce Le Serpent Rouge, the Red Serpent or bloodline of serpents, which culminated in the lineage of Merovingian monarchs who ruled France as priest-kings during the Middle Ages. When Jerusalem was conquered during the Crusades by fanatical Christians, the lineal descendants of the Merovingians, including King Baldwin, were placed upon the throne of Jerusalem. The Order of Sion was founded at that time to preserve the lineage of royal messianic blood, and the warrior arm of the organization, the Templars, was created soon afterwards to protect the Serpent Rouge and gather any esoteric information regarding its history and membership. While gathering a genealogy of the Serpent Rouge in Palestine, the Templars also aligned themselves with another lineage established by Jesus, that of the Johannites, the lineal descendants of Jesus through John the Apostle. The first Grand Master of the Templars, Hugh de Pine, was honorably inducted into the organization as its titular head. By accepting this elite position, Hugh de Pine officially aligned the order of Christian knights with Jesus, the Essenes, the school of the prophets, the Levite priests, Moses, the Egyptian masters, Noah, and even the Atlantean serpents of wisdom. The Templars in Europe and their dragon Baphomet. With the rites and mysteries they assimilated during their sojourn in Palestine, the Knights Templar returned to Europe and founded a new branch of the Serpents of Wisdom on their native soil. Their long-range goal, however, was to unite all branches of serpents, as well as all the sects and lineages engendered by Jesus, including the Christian Church, into a one-world holy empire. With their principal headquarters in southern France, a haven of Gnostic Christianity, the Knights Templar moved freely around the country while transforming numerous castles into ornate temples and constructing churches according to the principles of sacred geometry. While adopting a circular design for their churches along with a perfect cube for an inner altar, the Templars symbolically represented the union of the male, the circle, and female, the cube, principles which was to alchemically occur within these holy structures. They also decorated the interiors of their edifices with stained glass windows covered with vibrant flame motifs, as well as with imposing images of a black dragon called Baphomet, a name which means Father of Wisdom. Dul Nun had brought Baphomet's image with him out of Egypt, the ancient country which is known to have produced a black philosopher's stone and to have associated the color black with both transformation and wisdom. Baphomet's earliest origins apparently date back to Atlantis, however. The 19th century Freemason and Templar descendant Eliphas Levi maintained that he was synonymous with the goat of Mendes, the goat-headed version of fiery Volcan, which had been anciently transported to Chem by missionaries of the motherland. The essence of Baphomet, which Levi claimed was the Holy Spirit, the life force, and the transformative Kundalini, was apparently transmitted via the famous Templar kiss, a secret ritual during which a Templar master blew directly into the mouth of a new initiate. It was also reputed to have been awakened within the order through the practice of alchemy and sexual tantra and yoga. Since many of the Europeans who eventually became Templars were wealthy nobles who were required to donate all their property, large sums of money, and land eventually poured into the organization's treasury. Consequently, the Templars were soon acknowledged to be one of the richest and most powerful branches of serpents in the world. Then fate placed two impassable roadblocks in front of the Templars in the form of the Catholic Church and King Philip the Fair of France. King Philip needed money to finance the expansion of his kingdom and decided to usurp the Templars' wealth for himself. To do so, he dispatched a communique to the Catholic Pope in Rome, in which he included a list of heretical charges against the Templars and demanded their imprisonment. The Templars were attacked soon afterwards by the Inquisition, and their incredible wealth and land was seized by the French king. During the subsequent rapid demise of the Templars, at least 5,000 knights were imprisoned, and many of them died under torture, including the last Grand Master of the order, Jacques de Molay. Some Templars managed to escape, however, and took refuge in England and Scotland, where they proceeded to help lay the foundation of modern Freemasonry. Other brothers flocked to the safety of certain sacred Mediterranean isles, which had anciently been occupied by the Atlantean Serpents of Wisdom, such as Malta, Rhodes, and Cyprus, or they vanished into the European countryside. Wherever they fled, however, the Templars vowed to someday regroup and establish God's holy kingdom throughout all the countries of the earth. This is Walter Bosley, and I've just read a selection from The Return of the Serpents of Wisdom by Mark Amaru Pinkham.